Good evening, one and all. Welcome to Leaders Connect, an online leadership community, episode 39, where leaders create more leaders organized by the mass leadership. My name is Aarti. I'm a model and motivational speaker. Leaders Connect is started with the specific objective of creating 1,000 plus leaders, where all the working professionals and business people share their real time challenges on our website, www.themassleadership.com. We see all challenges, filter them. And every week on Wednesday, we invite top management leaders from corporate company who will be giving solutions for our real-time challenges on leadership. That's when we call it as leaders create more leaders. Currently, all are muted. And we will be giving you an opportunity to interact with our guest, Mr. Venkatesan. But before that, let me also share that we are currently live on Facebook and this episode is being recorded. For the visitors who have joined for the first time, you can click on LinkedIn, WhatsApp, Facebook link on the chat box and get an update on weekly basis and join us on creating more network. So, are you all ready to interact with our guest, Mr. Venkatesan, on the topic micro habits and macro changes? Then please do type yes in the chat box below. Thank you. But before the introduction of our guest, let me take a privilege to introduce the founder of Leaders Connect, Mr. Prakash Sharma, who will be interacting with our guest today. Over to you, sir.
Thank you very much, Aarti, and welcome, Mr. Venkatesan sir, for joining us today. And that's been really great that you have come to create more leaders here in this platform and network. And definitely, the more and more members and visitors who are here for the first time, I'm sure you'll get a lot of insights today from our guest. But before we directly hand it over to the guest, let's have a quick intro about the guest, or what is personal intro, as well as the professional, and then we will take it up with Mr. Venkatesan. Yes, Aarti, quickly go ahead with the personal introduction of our guest.
Now, it's the privilege to introduce about our guest of honor for the week, Mr. Venkatesan. Spouse name is Jaya Prasanna. She is a housewife. His children name is Shri Sai Anish, studying in Sri Shankara School, Adyar. His hobbies are reading and traveling. His favorite sport is cricket. His favorite location is Kerala and Sri Lanka. So, as you all know about the personal experience of Mr. Venkatesan, to know about his professional experience, let's watch the video.
So yes, Manish, you can go ahead and play the video. So members and visitors, kindly type welcome Mr. Venkatesan. Yes, and he is here for us for our platform to create more leaders. So thank you very much, Mr. Venkatesan sir, and welcome to the Leaders Connect organized by Zimas Leadership.
Thank you, Prakash and Aarti, and welcome to all our colleagues who have joined and other friends who have joined this program. The kind of welcome what you have given is something new to me, and I'm a very ordinary person like who participated in this program. And the hype you created, it make me a little nervous. Until then, I was a bit normal. Anyway, let me make myself qualify for that. Thank you so much for the wonderful introduction, Prakash.
Sure. So thanks very much, sir, for joining us as well. And so members as well as visitors, so the specific topic is micro habits and macro changes. Definitely, that's what the topic, and as we all are aware, week after week, we have specific topic on challenges. And the challenges which we had in our site was on the habits part and how habits can be created. And that's how we have been moving ahead. So, Mr. Venkatesan sir is there with us here. And so let me ask you the first question here, Mr. Venkatesan. In fact, habits actually create a destiny for a person. That's how a quote is. Habits create a destiny for the person. And so maybe what are your views of how actually habits are created for a person, sir? So that will be helping us to understand more better in detail.
Yes. In fact, before that, I will tell you how did I chose the topic. In fact, for the benefit of audience, I will explain that so that they'll also be mentally prepared for the next 45 minutes. So the moment you approach, the first question what I asked Prakash was, what is the targeted audience? He said that age group of 30 and 40, managers or aspiring manager who want to move to the next level in the career. These are all the participants. So that gave some kind of idea. They are all qualified, experienced, might have put at least 6-7 years of service. Otherwise, nobody would reach the managerial position. And otherwise, it come from the different background, from business school or whatever. So that could be the background. So somebody who want to move to the next level in corporate career, so that they are looking for some opportunity. That's what exactly you are creating it. Then I thought I can do different topics. Many things came to my mind. And see, anything that I'm going to propose that require kind of investment. Either they have to go to some other business school or they have to go to some institution. So we can learn project management. That's one option where you can grow better. Or quality system, there is a lot of things that keep coming that we can either become a lean master or whatever. That is also another option. Nowadays, data analytics and big data has become another option for them. So anybody who want to grow, probably that multiple options are available, but that requirement required some kind of investment, both in terms of time as well as money. There are other options, which is not very difficult, very simple in nature, which anybody can follow. That's nothing but habits. If you alter your habits, maybe pick up one or two, drop one or two, and you can able to come up. There's a lot of proven examples are there. That's why I have chosen the topic of discussing some of the habits, how it is going to transform you. Less effort, more benefit. So that is the reason why I have chosen this topic. Anyway, you asked one question that really helped me to explain the audience so that mentally they'll be prepared for it.
True, sir.
Yes. So in terms of question like how habit is going to transform the person. See, in fact, my fifth, I think I remember the fifth habit, I'm going to talk about echo. Life is all about echo. What you invest today, we are going to repeat tomorrow. And here, and the topic I will talk in detail. And you are co-author of your own destiny. Nobody can able to influence your life, good or bad. Growth, what you are attaining is all because of your past only. And if your current is good, probably your future will be better. No doubt about it. No doubt about it. So that's what I'm going to discuss in detail. That the short answer to your question is life is all echo only.
Wow.
What you sowed yesterday, you are going to reap today.
Yes, great. Very nicely shared that life is an echo, and that echoing itself is a habit, and that's what I understand that you'll be able to share in more detail within discussion with us. So I would like to also invite Mr. Rangarajan, who's also one of our member from Nash Industries from Bangalore. So he would also look forward to understand or ask you a couple of more questions and understand what are the couple of habits which we need to create as strong leaders so that we are able to move towards a constant growth. So welcome, Mr. Rangarajan. So we would request you to kindly turn on your video so that it helps us in enabling us to ask a question to Mr. Venkatesan. Okay. Okay, I believe Rangarajan is having a challenge, but nevertheless, sir, I will go ahead. So now that you're sharing about the habits and we're talking about micro habits, so what do you think are the 5 key habits or the certain habits which is required for leaders' constant growth? So in your experience, what are the key habits which you want to explain? Feel free to explain and we'll be able to understand more about the same.
So initially, I thought of handling 12 habits, and I consciously reduced to 8 because whatever I preach, I must be able to follow, and at
Yes.
least partially, if not fully. Otherwise, I am not qualified to discuss about it. That's why I dropped 4. I restricted to 8. That's what I'm going to discuss now. I ordered in such a way that first 5 are important. Doesn't mean that list 3 can be left.
Yes.
That's also equally important. But if you can able to follow the first 5, you can see a lot of changes in yourself.
Perfect. Sure, definitely, sir. So you can go ahead and you can share what are the habits which you would like to share with us, and what are those habits, micro habits, which is leading to the macro changes.
Good.
Yes.
So before I switch on my presentation, I would like to narrate a small story of mine, and how it helped me. See, I born and brought up in a small town called Ariyalur, which is near Trichy. Small town, and my father was in business, and he gave everything to me in my life, like still sixth standard. I never had any problem. Like I was a bit kind of grown up in a very lazy environment. Even if I get up in the morning, I don't have to even fold my blanket. Even my pillows have been left as is. So when the moment I wake up, I go for a cup of coffee that will be ready. And before going school, all I have to do this essential thing which I have to do, which I cannot outsource. So brushing and eating, these are all the only things that I have to do. Taking bath, otherwise, just and all being taken care by somebody else. So I kind of grown up in a very luxurious environment, and I never had any problem. And one fine day morning, when I was about to join the seventh standard, my father said, "I want to put in a hostel." I took it lightly. I thought that it is going to be a different environment, except I'm not going to be in the family. I never thought that hostel environment is going to be totally different. In fact, I would say that I got cheated by my father. And I thought that they are going to give independent room. I'm going to, instead of sitting in home, I'm going to sit in hostel. Anybody who's from Trichy must know. My father put me in a hostel in Tiruparaiturai, which is on the way to Karur from Trichy, on the bank of Kaveri. Everything is good except the hostel is jail. I never knew that. So I happily accepted my father. It was I'm going to have a comfortable life over there. I just went, and the kind of enjoyment I had just in sixth standard. My school is about 5 minutes walk from there. If school in those days starts at 10 o'clock, I leave at 9:50 and 9:55. I reach there, come home, take lunch, eat whatever you want, go back, enjoy, play food. And my father arranged for tuition. Academically, if there is a gap between what I have and what is being expected, that has been again compensated by the tuition master. So academically also, I don't have any problem. I really had a very comfortable life. All in a sudden, just imagine complete shift. By he put me in the hostel. I never knew the rules and conditions of the hostel. I'll tell you the routine so I'll understand how much of transformation that took place in a day.
True.
Yesterday I was in home. Tomorrow you put in a hostel. You have to wake at 5:30 in the morning. Nobody wake you. There is only one song they will play. Luckily, the song duration is 4 minutes. Within 4 minutes, you have to get up, fold your blanket, take your pillow, put it in the place it was supposed to be. By the time song is over, you have to be, otherwise you'll be bitter. That's the first time. So within 4 minutes, that song has been same song being repeated for the entire 4 years of my life. I still remember it. That's the first challenge.
Okay.
Then the next is within 15 minutes, you have finished all your essential commit. Usually, you want to perform teething, all you have to finish. 15th minute, you have to stand for exercise. Half an hour drill. Again, even one small adjustment, one small compromise is not possible. Very strict drill master, you have to perform it and go for another 30 minutes for group studies and take bath. I never took bath in hot water in my life for entire 4 years. Absolutely not possible. Whether it's a winter or whatever, 3 options they provided. Go to swimming pool, or the school is in the near Kaveri River, go to Kaveri River. They have all safety precautions. You can, everybody knows swimming. You have to know swimming. And there's a swimming pool, and there is a pump set kind of water they would provide. You have to bath in any of the 3 options that they provided. All are equally bad. Just imagine in winter, 6 o'clock taking bath in cold water or swimming pool or all are difficult, but it's mandatory, no option.
True.
And come back to food. again, all healthy food, but not tasty. Health and taste never go hand to hand. So all are boiled rice. They have to see Italy. I think something. I think you would have seen Tarbar movie. Somebody in South might know that. One Italy would weigh about 500 gram. If it fall in your leg, definitely get broken. So Italy, they give side dish like some sambar and chutney. Sometimes they give only gunpowder. If you take only gunpowder, you cannot eat it. You can't even break the Italy just like that. It's an art. Then finally they serve some malt kind of thing. It's a liquid hard, some sweet stuff they call it as malt they provide. We'll wait for that. There is no chutney sambar, you have to wait until then it get mixed and then only we can eat it. So that is the lunch. That's a breakfast, lunch also similar, no taste, nothing, but all healthy. So I could not able to adjust to this environment, but I don't have any option because all those who joined also have the similar story, being cheated by parents. And Swamiji is strict. We can say all the 500 who study in the hostel, there's no day scanner. All of them has to study in the school and the hostel. So I have to see all the 55 and 30 persons every day.
True.
No option. The whole village is surrounded by the ashram. They call it as Ramakrishna Tapon, real Tapon. Swamiji was managing. So having no option was trying to adjust. Anytime our Swamiji always say that these are all good habits. We try to inculcate you, get used to it, get used to it. We have no other option. But at the time, if you blame them, my father, everybody will curse the father. See, you put it in a jail. Even if you cross the bus when you want to get down, the conductor will say it's a jail, Tripura jail, get down, please. That's how he will tell the stopping. Because nobody else will get into the bus and get dropped in the stopping because only the school management and hostel management authority will be there. They call it as jail only. Later building is jail. No question of 11:30 is 11:30. 11:30 what is not 11:30 for us. So everything is disciplined. Everything is make it on time. 9:30 we go to bed, sleep. 5:30 or to wake up. So lot of habits have been cultivated to us. Even today I am practicing. Most are forced, but still I am doing it. That's why I praise my father. Though at the time I cursed him, he really helped me. Had I studied in my hometown, some of the good habits what I follow even today, I can sleep anywhere. Even I don't want bed. I had it luxury. If I got AC, it's luxury. In my house there is no fan. Even today in my house there is no fan. All the 530 have to enjoy with the breeze comes from the window. No other option. Even today they follow same procedure. If you get to the habit for 4 continuous years, that will get immune into your body and you never expect whatever you get more. If you get a fan, it's a luxury for us. If you get a bed, it's a luxury for us. So even if we don't have, I can able to adjust. So all the habits that got into my system, I still benefited. That's why I even praise my father for doing all this thing. He offered me good education, good school. Of course, I also have to say that he also helped me to find a good life partner. You might all wonder why I'm selling. See, we are operating from home. My wife is sitting next to me, and if I'm not mentioning it, my dinner is not guaranteed. So that is also another good thing that you have done. And whether really mean it or not, I leave it to you. So all the habit that I picked up in my school days, half still stays with me. Half still stays. This is forced learning. The next one is I learned one thing from my son when he was in second, third standard. And when we were traveling in the car, we ate something and we was about to drop. So that's the usual habit of an Indian, whatever the cover or whatever the snack we did, about to throw. But he didn't do that. He picked up and kept it. And he was waiting for the next station to come, put it in the dustbin. So this is a real learning. This, though I learned in the hostel, I didn't practice it, but I learned from him. Certain things are forced learning. Certain things you learn by seeing somebody, picking up somebody. So learning can be formal or informal way. That's how the habits are being learned to a person. And this is what exactly we are going to discuss now. Some of the habits that you can learn from preaching or whatever. What I'm going to do, what I'm going to discuss today is not very difficult, very difficult. You can even apply it from very next day and you can see the difference by yourself. With this introduction, can I get into my slides, Prakash?
Definitely, yes, Mr. Venkatesan sir. In fact, it's a very wonderful introduction. Nice to listen to your story as well, which is very inspiring to understand how you have picked up the habits. And we love to listen to you. What are those habits which you're also following continuously?
So I've taken only the micro habits. Might take cumulatively. I think you're able to see my screen, Prakash.
Yes, we are able to see.
This is a very, very simple habit that is going to have a maximum changes in your life. That's why I named it as greatness of smallness.
Super.
I'll get into the first habit.
Yes.
Before that, what is habit? It's nothing but a behavior that is repeated frequently, maybe daily, maybe some habits that you can do it once in 2 days, once in a week, or whatever. So there is no fixed frequency like it has to be done every day, because these are all habits being done repeatedly. It can be an action, routine, or a lifestyle. That's also lifestyle. Also maybe a habit.
True. Mm.
People who have achieved success are not more skillful or intelligent. That's very, very important. That's why I told you, when the average age group of the participant is between 30 to 40, it is not necessary that everybody need to be intelligent or skillful to achieve success. Of course, it is there, but it is not proportionally true, proportionally same as if you are more intelligent, more successful. It's not. Even college also, in academic, you may be excelling in academic. That academic success is not proportional to your success in the profession. These are two different skills. It's a life skill. So the very, very important thing, that's alter your habit and see that you will be more successful. In fact, that's another interesting story. My hostel, every year they arrange for Old Boys Association. Out of 60 who completed, sorry that we lost 4 of my own classmates and remaining 56 alive, out of which 50 are very active in a social network. And almost everybody is successful in life, irrespective of whatever they are into. They are into business, or somebody are abroad doing something, somebody are doctors, or somebody are doing other business. Everybody is successful, all because of the habit. Whatever they picked up, they could able to apply. They can adapt to any situation. They've gone into the bad situation. Everybody had a very comfortable life. All in a sudden, they could able to adjust this. The adaptation is the best skill that one can able to possess if you want to be successful. Everything has been forcefully taught to us. That's why they are applying it, making very successful. So, and what we do repeatedly, that's become a habit that we have to inculcate. And that maybe first 1 week or 10 days, it may be difficult for you, but afterwards, it become a habit.
True.
Go on to the next slide. There are some myths about habit formation. Habit can be formed through motivation. If somebody can able to motivate you, like this is a good habit, do it, then everybody would have followed it. Absolutely, it is not possible. However, more talking, whatever I'm teaching is all been said by Buddhas, and you can see it in Bhagavad Gita. So many people have preached it. But unfortunately, nothing seems to be fully absorbed and being implemented. It may be at another session that I'm also preaching it, and but take long time. Just because motivation, I don't think that this habit can be picked up and it can be inhibited. Second, learning about the benefits will help from the new habits. Habits are formed by doing, not thinking that, oh, tomorrow I want to start this. I'm drinking only about 2 liters of water. I want to drink more and all. That is not going to happen just because you are saying that you are learning it. You have to practice it. And another thing, they say that there are 21 days is required to make a habit. Certain things may be possible, but not all. True. Certain things definitely is possible. Simple one might, if you do it continuously for 22 days, it's become a habit. But certain things make more time. That take long time. If apps can change your behavior, nothing like that. That app can be sold like anything. App can be only can help you to give direction, but it cannot able to act. So far, to my knowledge, no such apps have been behaved. At least it can alarm you to wake up. You have all the options to switch off and sleep. So apps cannot able to change your behavior. It can be an aid to you and might help you to alarm you the certain thing you have to do. But at the end of the day, only you have to do it. And I don't think that it can be outsourced. Exercise cannot be outsourced. Certain thing what you want to do, it cannot be outsourced. Unfortunately, you have to do it.
Yes.
All those who preach good habit follow it. Yes, some do. Some do partially. Today's speaker also one example. He does partially and not completely. And some they don't. Some they don't. So what is the impact of somebody doing partially, somebody not doing? And the end of the slide, I have answer for it. So there are a lot of myths about habit formation. It's very, very simple. Just do it unless you have mentally prepared, unless it's coming into your gene or into your mindset, you may not be able to do that. Just believe it's going to work and try to do it. With this, I'll get you to the first line.
Yes.
Okay. So you, once again, your environment becomes you. Absolutely. Absolutely. You control your environment. Very, very, very important habit. Suppose you want to kind of, if you want to improve, you want to attain some position in life, you want to be very happy in life, always don't think your career success is success. In a small survey, I'll tell you, The American university did a research that how many CEOs after retirement are successful. They surveyed about 50. Only 5 are really successful. Half died immediately. Half become bankrupt. The person who managed billions of dollars in the business, they lost their life. They become bankrupt. They're not even able to meet both ends. So a lot of people, after their position after retirement, they could not be able to continue their life, happy life, what they enjoyed earlier, because the power and money make the character changes, and you may not able to adjust after post retirement. Very, very important. And you will become the surrounding, choose them well. Absolutely, what sort of person you are. That's in the early days they call it a satsang. Satsang is nothing but like-minded people are meeting. They do for bhajan, they do it for kalashebam or whatever. They like the topic. They somebody talk, somebody listen to them. All they meet at a regular frequency, and they continue to grow. So that's it's not something new. It's been taught. Satsang is the real meaning is like-minded people meeting with a common cause. That has been transformed in many different ways. But you ensure that you what you want to become. You do a self-analysis and have the people around you. That's very, very, very important. The people you are associated and conversation with you are profoundly shape your thinking. Very, very important. So these people are only able to shape up your career, future, whatnot. And another tip is be in touch with the people greater than you. Absolutely. What you want to become, you may just prepare a mental record and identify who have really achieved that kind of position. Stay connection with them. All definitely you will achieve. If they would have made some shortcut, they would have gone for one additional course. They would have done something differently to attain what they wanted, and that become in fact a shortcut for you. Always be in touch with good people and people above you. Great. And what the research says that is an American university that what they have done, they did the research on successful people. Why certain people are successful? See, when I've come from the college, everybody got equal qualification. Everybody have been trained. Teacher does not train one person in particular. So the whole classes, everybody has been teaching the same way. There is no different attention has been given under service calls for it. So all the knowledge transfer has been done at the same way to same team. But some are successful, some are not. They did a research of somebody who graduated 5 years, 10 years, 15 years. They found that 9 out of 10 become successful because they have a very, very good friends. And both in terms of personal life, both in professional life, they got a good friends. They are only making them happy. That happiness bring them more success in life. Another advantage, tail piece of information for you is if you have some friends who lives in the vicinity of 1 mile, that's more advantage to you. What is the nearness? How nearness is going to help you? You can meet them very frequently. Distance is not a barrier. This is also outcome of the research, not an ordinary university, very famous university research found it. And another information that I would like to share it with you. I have attended the program by T.T. Rangarajan, Maharatya, and his program on holistic is a wonderful program. If time permits, and please do join the program. He always insists that 5 is the magic number. We always say that you should have only 5 friends, 5 close family members. You cannot add even one more. If you add one more, one among the 5 would suffer. One among the 5. Assume that a family of 2. You have 2 children, husband and wife, and parents. Already you have 6. So you cannot able to bring any one relative into the circle. If you try to do it artificially, then one among the family member will get less attention what they deserve. Don't do that. Just after a session, you also mentally think how many friends you have. Don't add 6th friend. There cannot be in the inner circle. There can be an outer circle. They meet them less frequently or whatever. Up to 150 connections you can have. That's what the research says. But the closeness cannot be, the close friend cannot be more than 5. Never ever, don't do 5 is applicable for everything. If I'm holding an account and I cannot manage more than 5 customers, if the 6th customer require attention, give it to your boss or subordinate. You cannot do that. Or one among the 5 must leave to give way to the new one. If a new customer comes or a problematic customer comes, probably the less important, the stable account has to be managed by somebody else. Otherwise, you cannot do justice. 5 is a magic number. With thorough research only they have done. And that's why you always maintain the less relationship or less relatives, less friends in the closer circle. Outer circle you can do, but never ever don't try to make 150. Even it is WhatsApp or any group beyond 150, highly impossible. But at the cost of somebody, you cannot do that. True. That's the first habit. Again, I repeat, your environment become you. Where you stay, where you talk, to whom you have been interacting, that will shape up your character. Excellent. Can I move to the next one?
Yes, we can. In fact, I am able to remind the Buddha's quote, sir, Sangam Saranam Gacchami.
Absolutely right.
That's what, in fact, talking about the environment becomes you, and then we need to. Wonderful.
Absolutely.
It's very nice, and I like really this point of 5 is a magic number. We need to have be more closer.
Right.
Good habits. So let's go ahead to the next one. That will be
Right.
more exciting for us to listen.
So in between the audience, if you have any question, probably you can send it to Prakash, and suppose you want to may discuss habit by habit also is possible, or I'll respond to you at the end.
So members as well as visitors, feel free to also write your questions on the chat box if required to be, so that we will be taking up those questions at the end of this particular episode, and Mr. Venkatesan will be happy to answer them as well. All right. So yes, proceed, sir.
It takes only a minute to do certain activity. You think 1 minute is quite long. Absolutely. 1 minute is definitely long enough to do certain activity. It just takes a minute to say sorry. Many times we commit. At the end of the day, for whatever reason you're not able to honor it, you can say sorry. Don't just say sorry, mean it. You mean sorry. Why you have done, why you're not able to do it. And if the sorry is really mean to it, then definitely we'll understand. More time you say sorry, you will understand, oh, you're making a lot of commitment, you're not able to do that. And you find yourself that commitment when you make next time, you see that it's not realistic one, probably you sorry. Absolutely sorry is a very, very important thing. That will not take more than 10 seconds to say that. And it's only take a minute to tell a loved one that you adore them. Family member definitely doesn't have enough attention. More the time everybody sitting here, you spend more time to our office and to other official commitment than your family. Family really need you after retirement. Nobody will take care of it. Most of these CEOs become orphan the family because you went behind money and position. At the end of the day, anyway, everybody is going to retire on them. Then your family is very important. Take care of them at the early stage.
True.
It takes a minute to drink a water that I have added. It really, really, I benefited. What I learned in my school, what I not learned in my school, what I learned until I become 45 years. I have not read it. I read one article in Hindu, one full page they devoted, and they talked about the importance of drinking water. They say it's a therapy. It's not just drink a fluid. It's not a water. It's not a therapy. It's a therapy. Don't just underestimate it. They suggested that every normal human being should drink at least 3 liters of water. The way they have written, a doctor have written I got mad the way you written, and I thought that it's one of the good habits I'll pick up. From that day, I've been doing it. Absolutely necessary. You once you start practicing, it will never become tired, and it is absolutely necessary for your brain to function. Many things it does it. It is a separate session we have to handle if we talk about the benefit of water. Please do that. 3 liters of water from morning till you go to bed. You have to break it into different levels. Whenever possible, you do it. But 3 liters is the barest minimum. And take a minute to write a beautiful thankful letter to your teammate, school teacher, and customer. Absolutely. Anything that has been done beyond the KRA, it deserves for appreciation. Absolutely. Whether it's a teammate or something, you have to do it. I'll put a simple example. In my company, they follow excellent practice. Every month, they choose the best performer, and every quarter, they have a quarter. Every quarter, they choose the best performer again based on that quarter. One guy won the award for 3 times. I just called. I only gave the award. In fact, in my Chennai office, at least about 500 people can, at least 500, 600 people can be present at one point in time. They arrange a wonderful dice, and the fellow who received this award, they can stand at least in front of 300, 400 people and receive the award. It's a great honor for him. And he have done for third time. When they announced it, they said the third time they're winning the award. I just called him. To find out how he could able to win for third time. I was thinking that he's doing some special things, special tricks or whatever. Before that, I just appreciated him, and I told him that winning for the third time, it's a tough competition. There's going to be tough competition. Just like that, we don't give award. He has to perform well. His position has been his customer compliant, and so many other factors will be considered before we give the award. We select the best performer. So I'm sure that the stringent condition he won it. 3 times he won it, and I appreciated him. It's almost it become very emotional. You're not even able to talk. I just asked him, how do you differently share it so that at least I can share with the other team member? He could not able to speak for 5 minutes. He said that I'm working in this company for 10 years, and 3 times I won the award, but nobody had called in and appreciated me. Even my team leader did not appreciate me. By the moment I called and said, he was so touched, emotional, and he was very happy. And he also told me that This will really make me to perform even better to win the award for the fourth time. So then only I realized that everybody needs some appreciation for the extra work they have done. I make it as a habit. I make it as a habit. And whenever something not within the career, I will not do it. If anything, some extraordinary work they have done, definitely I'll do it. At least I'll go to the place and wish them I'll do it. So that really motivates them to do even more than what they've achieved. Only takes a minute to smile. Absolutely. Absolutely. Nowadays, people are not smiling the way that they are supposed to. In fact, research say that the jaw size is coming down because it's not smiling the way they are supposed to do 10 years back. Everything has become shorter. Mail become email and mail the message become in words. So smile also it's become a rare incident. People don't smile with each other. Absolutely, you have to pick up this habit. Lot many things would happen in life if you started smiling unnecessary. It only takes a minute to travel extra mile. Absolutely, absolutely. If a long-standing customer, what they expect if the project is running for 3 months, they need some constant update. The delivery days is in August, and in the month of July, if you give an update, 35% of what's supposed to be completed, it's done. Don't worry, we are here, we are taking care of it. Next update would happen on next week or whatever. This small update will make the customer very happy. Somebody sitting 1,500 miles away, giving the work, not even seen you. You would have signed the CEO, you would have sent some president who would have signed the document. The fellow who performed the work might not even seen the fellow who's actually reviewing it. There is no connection except in the call. So here, all because of trust only, the work is being done. Everything can be compensated by through effective communication. That extra mile would definitely make the customer. It will not take more than a minute. And it will only take a minute to reflect on what you can do today to be better than yesterday. Definitely. Growth is life. You have to definitely grow at least. You have to try to do something differently, better than yesterday to sustain your growth. I humbly request everybody to read the book 1 Minute Manager. Very simple book. Anybody who really wanted to grow, absolutely have to read it. It's like a fictitious story that one person, they want to see who's the best manager. He met one manager is very aggressive, always demanding. The another manager is very submissive. He takes things very lightly. So this then he himself found a manager and he has certain quality. That's what the books describe about it. The crux is set your own goal, which can be described in 1 minute. Whatever goal it may be, you want to grow by 30% in top line, you want to grow bottom line by 15%, or you want to expand it, or you want to diversify, whatever. Set your goal in 250 words. Everything can be written in 250 words. Absolutely, it's possible. Make it very brief. That's what it means. Give 1 minute price. Let the people know that when they are doing right things, you have to price. That's what I've explained just a short while ago. And also, in case any wrongdoing, you have to definitely correct the incorrect behavior also. Assume that somebody have not performed the way it was supposed to. Go and make him to understand. And he wanted to do it in two phases. The author says that once you say that I am not happy with it, this particular incident you would have done differently. Then you make sure that he only this particular action of the behavior only I'm against you, not against you. This action of yours only I don't like it. You have to convey to him and you have to be normal. By end of the conversation, you have to again come back to the normal mode saying that you have to appreciate the one we have done in the past. We even tell them that I never expected from you when I heard you made the mistake. I thought it could be somebody else in your name. So like that, you have to tell something so that he does not carry the bad image. The message has to be conveyed. At the same time, you have to help him to come back to normal. Otherwise, he will carry this. He'll perform even poorly in the coming days. Very, very elegantly has to be done. This is what this 1 minute manager who talks about it. Absolutely necessary. Small changes make big difference. Please read it.
Definitely. Thanks very much, Rangarajan, for sharing that link. So, in fact, as Mr. Venkatesan sir, you're sharing it. A member has shared the link on the
Great.
as well for the book 1 Minute Manager by Ken Blanchett.
Right.
One. I really like this particular second habit which you're talking, and especially in that the second one, it takes only a minute to tell your loved one that you adore them. Very, very important. Even I have learned the same. So it's very necessary to share with them how much how much we love them, and very, very necessary. Wonderful, sir. The excellent habits which you're sharing. The second habit is tremendous.
I move on to the third one. Yeah.
Yes.
Any questions, Prakash? Can I move
So
to the third one?
we have one question from one of our visitor, I believe, Ms. Kanchana. What if I don't have 5 close friends, but I'm friendly with everyone? That's a question Ms. Kanchana asks.
I believe this Kanchana is from Anna University. She is a professor. Am I right, Dr. Kanchana?
We will give an unmute option to Kanchana just a moment. Manish, kindly help unmuting Ms. Kanchana so that she can answer.
Oh, hello. I am Rajashri, her daughter, actually. She
Right,
asked
right.
me to attend this.
Yeah, very good, very good. How old are you? How old are you? Rashti, how old are you?
Okay. I believe she is
Probably we can take it later on. Yeah,
perfect.
Uh,
I think it's not. Yeah. Yes, yes, Rashti.
I am 17.
17. But I was wondering why you don't have a close friend. I thought the question should be other way. I have 10 friends. How to cut down to 5? But I'm really wondering that you have only less than 5 friends. Is it true?
I have only one friend from my childhood, like from the age of 2, I know only her, like very close. But otherwise, I talk to everyone in class. So,
When I say that you should not have more than 5 friends, it's absolutely necessary that you should have at least 5 friends. Absolutely necessary. At least try to increase to 2, 3. You have to find a good friend, and that would really help you. That really help you, not in the personal life also. And you develop the art of identifying the right friend and bringing into the closeness. You have to do that.
yeah, I'm going to college next year, so I'll try to get
Sure,
friends.
sure, sure.
Good,
Thank you.
good, Shri. Thank you very much. So, Mr. Venkat, so 2 points were excellent. 2 habits were really tremendous. So let's looking forward to listen to your third habit.
Right. Okay. Next topic is next level of listening. Everybody is listening. Without listening, nobody could be able to respond to it. Are we really listening? That's very, very important. You have to develop the habit of listening. That's why they said art of listening. In fact, you won't believe that there is a lot of programs are being conducted for listening. In fact, the one online session I have attended, very, very, very useful. Very useful. In fact, the program, what they do is in 30 minutes, they make somebody to talk the topic which you are not comfortable. You are not comfortable. And they make you to sit without any interruption. See, they just what they told us it's not interrupt. So I've been very artificially I keeping myself kind of in half mode. I have to listen it. I have to listen it. A lot of points which you discussed is totally I'm in disagreement. I was about to counter. I should not do it, but they react. They saw my reaction, my face reaction, and other things. They said that I'm not comfortable. I try to kind of interrupt. Though artificially I've not done it, my mind and face reflected that I want to interrupt by 13, 14 times. Then they said even that should not reflect here. Again, same kind of program. Another half an hour. Next time they walk, just come down to 6. And finally, I another similar conversation. I end up with 3. So they said that irrespective of whatever topic, whatever the discussion that opponent is having, you have to listen. It's an art. As a senior person, you should develop this habit. The reason why we are going to discuss now, there is a big difference between hearing and listening. We are only hearing, definitely not listening. According to the research, 738 and 55 is the rule. Word account only for 7%. Everybody thinks that whatever we talk, because word only going to make different. Absolutely not. But and 38% account for the tone and voice. Very, very important. The way they express, I thought that you are going to support me, you let me down, you are supporting the other guy, but it never happened. So from the tone of the voice, you can able to understand. And 55% is body language. Absolutely, absolutely. You must get into the art of listening, not only from the word, and all the emotion can be reflected through the tone and voice. Absolutely. You have to pick up this contact. Very, very, very essential. Listening to your team members and employees will make you a well appreciated, respectable manager. The moment you listen it, then definitely people will understand that at least the message has been conveyed. Whether you act or not, that's a different story. But for sure, many a times when somebody come with a problem, they themselves know that I cannot able to act. They might expect some promotion, they might expect some better increment or whatever, but the system does not allow me. They know that. But when they say and when they express my inability, they are satisfied. They are satisfied. If I'm avoiding them, by having known that they come with a purpose which I'm not able to help it, if I avoid them, then the problem gets magnified. In fact, why the people are leaving, the bosses, people are leaving, not the company, the bosses, because they're not even listening. Where would they go? Where would they go? If I have a genuine problem, where would they go and express? So HR also cannot able to act. Somebody, the immediate supervisor only have to act on that. Absolutely necessary. If you are really listening, you can find out that you should have a good eye contact, never interrupt. That's what I said. 45 minutes you have to listen. The topic which are not comfortable. The same scenario only in life, in real science, is going to come. Somebody sitting with you will talk something bad about the company, bad about our decision. Something might happen. You have to interrupt. You should not interrupt them. Deep listening is absolutely necessary. Show that you understand them. Listen to non-verbal communication. That's what account for the tone of the voices and body languages. Everything is very, very important. This is highly valued soft skill. People try to ignore it, but nowadays everybody in a senior organization, bigger organization, give a lot of importance to that. People with this ability can understand task, projects, and good relationship with co-worker and solve the problem and resolve conflict. The listening skill will really help you not only resolve the problem, but also the other thing associated with the project, relationship, everything would help. And by listening, you understand the need, preference of the stakeholder. The stakeholder is not necessary all the time. They're all bosses or investor or customer. It can be your boss, maybe a client, maybe a co-worker, maybe a subordinate, higher management people, interviewer, job candidate, anything. By listening, you can able to understand. If you fully understood how the problem will be solved, how the problem is solved. Most of the wrong decision has been taken because we don't have the ability to listen fully, understood fully. It's an art. It's an art. Also, science. Get mastered in it. Very, very, very important. Very important.
Wonderful. Yes. Great, Mr. Venkatesan. Sir, in fact, since that now you're sharing about this particular point of habit of next level listening, may we take this opportunity now in asking a quick quiz with all our members and visitors here. Is that okay with you?
Yeah.
Okay, that will also help us in terms of how, in reality, what all and how much they have been listening. Great. Mr. Venkatesan sir, we just can stop sharing for 2 minutes and then we will resume sharing again.
Yeah.
So thank you very much. Yeah, thank you very much. So thank you very much, Rangarajan, for sharing the book. Also, the e-copy or a soft copy of the book called The 1 Minute Manager. It helps for all the other members as well as the visitors. On the chat box, you can see our member, Mr. Rangarajan, has shared the book as well. So before we go to the next, that is a David, Mr. David is going to ask us a quick quiz question to all. But before I share the platform to David to ask the quiz question, I would like to share the last week's quiz winner. So last week's quiz winner is Mr. Shantaram, and he had in fact received the 101 blissful workplace, the 101 stories of blissful workplace and how it could be. And that's the book he had actually won by attending or sharing the right answers of what the guest has shared in fact. So congratulations, Mr. Shantaram. So today also we are going to see who is actually giving the right answer for the quiz question which has been asked by Mr. David. So Mr. David, we request you to unmute yourself and also be a part of the forum here. So let me introduce David. David runs his own company. Mr. Venkatesan is named as Penicia Facility Management Services. So he's been a member for a quite long time. So yes, Mr. David, over to you.
Hi, David.
Hi, sir. Nice to have you over here with us. And
Yes,
we are all enjoying the way you've been explaining about all these habits. Well, friends, sir has been talking about these 3 habits so far. But before that, he went on to say there are certain 5 myths about habit formation. And in one of those 5 myths, he said there is a general belief that it takes a certain number of days to form a habit. Of course, he also went on to say that it may not be applicable to all the habits, but there is a general belief. What are the number of days, he said?
Oh my God. People already started typing it.
There are two
Can I participate, sir? Can I?
Yes, please, Rangarajan.
Yes, sir, yes, sir.
Rangarajan, right? I heard a person, can I? But is that Rangarajan? Okay, I believe that's fine.
No, I asked Prakash.
Oh, sorry, Mr.
You are doing
Venkatesh.
nice gift. Why should I lose it?
Please, Mr. Venkatesh. All the answers are flowing in. Yes, Mr. Venkatesan, sir. You can also share your views if you want to. But 21 is what the answer is coming. Selvaraj David, the 21 is the answer. That's what the myth is what you are saying about Mr. Venkatesan. Am I right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You're right.
Yes, that's right. That's right.
So super cool. So there are people who have written 21, 21, 21. Wow. And the first person, in fact, we can see Yugender who has written 21. Then Lakshmi Narasimhan has written 21. And then after that, we have Mr. Surya Prakash Guha. He's also a visitor. So I would request Mr. Yugendra and Lakshmi Narasimhan a point of a giving attitude here, because this time we are sharing the Mask Leadership's 360-degree assessment as complimentary. So let's go ahead with Mr. Suprakash, right? Suprakash Guha. Mr. Suprakash Guha, I would request you to unmute yourself so that you will be able to have an opportunity. And congrats, Mr. Suprakash Guha, for sharing the answer.
Thank you. Thank you very much. It's my pleasure. Thank you.
If it's possible to turn on your video, yeah, great. That's good. Thanks very much for turning on the video as well. It helps. So, Mr. Suprakash Guha, if you can just quickly introduce yourself in less than 30 seconds, it will be helpful for all our visitors and members.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Prakash. I am also working in Lumina Datamatics. Basically, I report to Mr. Venkat. So he is my boss.
Prakash, I did not share the answer. I think you have to trust me here.
Yeah. He has not shared me the answer. I was listening to him very carefully, and so I take care of the corporate quality and the information security management system of Lumina. I operate from Pondicherry, and that is my background. And thank you very much. I was enjoying the session. Thank you.
Wonderful. Thanks very much, Suprakash Guha. And you also will be receiving the Mask Leadership 360-degree assessment as complimentary. So congratulations. So members, you can type congratulations for Suprakash Guha.
Thank you very much.
Thanks very much for patiently listening, especially the third habit, which in fact Mr. Venkatesan is talking, the next level of listening, which helps a lot.
Thank you.
So thanks very much, David Selvraj sir, asking a very peculiar, specific question, which really helps in fact people to understand how much they're in fact listening. And really, I appreciate the point. Thanks much, Mr. David. So yes, Mr. Venkatesan sir, over to you to go ahead with the next two habits. But Mr. Venkatesan, I have a small request. In the interest of time, I would request maybe can be restricted to 5 habits alone. Is that okay? I understand we have 8. Yeah,
Perfect.
that's fine. Great.
Perfect. I put it in the same sequence, really, in the order considered. That's fine. It's fine. Yeah.
That will really be helpful as well. Great. However, let us ask also the participants, as in the members and visitors. And if you wish to definitely take the other 3 habits more, definitely in nutshell, we would request Mr. Venkatesan to share. But 5 definitely will go in detail. Is it all okay, members? And visitors, please type in the chat box your answers, which will help us to proceed further. Great. So, and yes, thanks very much, Ramki. Oh, thanks. Yeah, Ramki is the person. I need to introduce Ramki as well. Thank you very much, Ramki, for introducing us to Mr. Venkatesan. So, Mr. Ramki is the person who has introduced Mr. Venkatesan to us for this forum. He is the next level network leader, and I'm sure we all be interacting with him. Ramki, hold on. I would like to talk to you maybe after all the 5 habits which we listen. So, thanks all the members as well as the participants. Stay on and let's listen to the 4th habit from Mr. Venkatesan. Over to you, sir.
Yeah. So this is very interesting, like a neighborhood role model. See, everybody, or if you ask for the role model, if it is connected to the business, they'll say, I want to become Ambani. If it is connected with other country, they talk about Bill Gates or somebody who have really become very rich on their own life. So they talk about it. They forget that lot need to be learned from the nearest neighbor. That's very, very important. See, if you look from the country, India as a country, see, out of 138 crore people who live in this country, maybe about 60, 70 crore people can work. Rest can be children and somebody who cross 60 or not employable. So probably out of 60, 65 crore people who can be eligible for working employment, 50 crores of the people are connected with the informal industry. They may be working in a small shop next to you, maybe a textile shop or a shop which is selling medicines or whatever, or the platform must be roaming around the platform. So they are the 50% of the people, 90% of them out of the 50 crores, they are all working in the informal industry. 50% of India's GDP also contributed by unorganized sector only. Government has completely ignored them. And though these people who are working in the industry are more knowledgeable who are working in any corporate. See, we come from the formal education, we finished and we work in a more structured environment. But if at all real learning you want to do, look around you, look around you. So it's not necessary that always the role model can be somebody who's already achieved certain thing in life. It is not necessary. I'll quote a very simple example what happened in my previous company. I did it when Women's Day was celebrated. Couple of times I called some VIPs. One time I called a doctor. One time I called another successful person. Third time they said that why don't you identify this and chief guest for the Women's Day? And I never reveal who's going to come. I called an housekeeping woman who's working in our own company as a chief guest. Everybody was surprised. They would have seen, some of them would have seen, he's working in different, in my previous company, there are about six different locations were there. She was working in another location. I called her. I didn't even tell her that she's going to talk and all. And she cannot able to talk well. He can explain her whatever her past she can able to share, but she cannot able to tell the way that we narrate. The purpose is not that. I want her to share her real life story. Very briefly, I'll tell you why she can be a role model. She got married, went to Mumbai. It's just normal incident event. And when went to Mumbai, that time only she came to know that her husband has got alliance with somebody else. By the time he realized 10, 9, 8 years had gone, she gave birth to two girls. And very young, maybe 6 years and 4 years. And then she took a pledge that we will not live with the guy who cheated. We were not able to digest it. Another problem for her is her husband was following a different religion. That's why there is no support from her parents also. She went to Mumbai. She found that husband is having affairs with somebody else, and she doesn't have any option. Doesn't want to live in Mumbai. She want to come to Chennai without any plan. With just 50 rupees. I'm talking about 20 years back. She landed to Chennai. She came to Chennai by train. After the train tickets and whatever time money spent in train, she only left with 50 rupees. Don't even know. Two children. Then she stayed in one platform. And when the trains goes off, then she moved to the another platform. Like that, he changed between platform in central. He was lived for 2 days. One woman police found that she's looking a stranger and she looks, he's expecting some help without any male support. How she can able to live? He went and cautiously asked us why you are doing like that. I've been watching you past 48 hours. You have been spending time in the platform. What is your problem? He said, I don't know where to go. I come with certain problem. I faced it. That's why I came from Mumbai. I don't know what to do. Then this policewoman was kind enough to find some house for 150 rupees rent. Even for the rent, he doesn't have account, he doesn't have money. She helped. Luckily, she also gave some money. She could be able to survive for a week's time. Then she was looking for a job and finally ended up with joining in my company. She joined. And that time we used to pay about 4,500 rupees for kind of work what she does it. So that was big money for her. And her days had passed and she was working and she started earning money and was leading a comfortable life. On 150 rupees rent to year moved to 600 rupees rent house and things are going well. And one day she gave an invitation for her daughter's marriage. One small invitation, one piece of invitation. I asked, well, how much you are going to spend for the marriage? He said 50,000 rupees. Just imagine for a marriage, you can only spend only 50,000 rupees. And she said, no, I'm going to do it in a very luxury way. I'm going to do it in the church and I'm going to feed for 50 people. All my relative I called. This was a big event for her. And her daughter was finished +2. And for second daughter, he borrowed money and she said that I want to see her as a graduate. He never took support from anybody else with whatever little earning. She want to make it as a graduate at least. The first one, she did not go for college because he wanted to support her mother after higher secondary. We went for some job, he got married. So at that time, I was a bit surprised this 50,000 rupees, somebody can able to do marriage. So beyond she cannot able to do with 5,000, 6,000 rupees salary, what she can do. Then I called all my team leads and I told them that's the person who's helping us by giving water and keeping our utensil clean and small work, she does it. Our daughter marriage is only about 50,000 rupees, only you could able to spend. Can we do something? So everybody contributed, and you won't believe that lakhs, some 1 or 2 lakhs money has been collected in form of money and other form we collected. Somebody offered some silk sari and some utensil we given. Marriage was celebrated very well. And the team lead also took another pledge that we have to see that she has been graduated and we have been whatever college expenses that she is going to incur, we said we'll sponsor it. We'll sponsor. They've done it. All my team leads from that day onwards, I'm talking about 10 years back, they sponsor one team lead. They ensure that they finish graduation. Until then, all the school and college fee and other incidental expenses are bought by them. Even today, they are following. Probably at least 4 family children would have been graduated. Just one incident because of that. It's been continuously, it's been done by. It's happened. So this lady was sharing her experience. Just imagine, because her husband is having a bad habit, we could not able to resist. He came back with a vengeance that you have to prove that I have to live much better than you. Never took support from anybody. Worked hard. Today, her elder daughter got married. Younger one, after graduation, she got employed in my own office, and she also got married. And their life is completely changed. But this lady said that till my last minute, I will work. Her second daughter is well settled, husband also employed. He said, I'll give money. He doesn't want to do that. Same work he's continued to do that. When I was in need, this company only helped me, this money only helped me. And as long as I can work, even today is working in the same company, same position. And said I only called her as a role model. What more to be learned? See, this when we shared our experience, you won't believe. Many people have tried, many people emotionally touched with that. Similar incident happened to my father is also like that only. He, in fact, he worked 12, 14 hours a day to see that I'm a graduate. So everybody has got something to touch. And that meeting went on, and 4 hours, a lot of people have been sharing their experience. And that day only, everybody realized that role model cannot be somebody you can see only on the television or newspaper. You can feel them. You can be next to you. You can talk to them. You can understand. You can share. You can ask them to share experience. That would really help. So that is very, very important. Likewise, whenever you walk on the road, feel a lot of people how you are doing it. In fact, this is a wonderful video. I saw it from Captain Raghuram. If anybody who's really interested to know a management topic, please listen to Captain Raghuram's video. A lot of videos. The way he talked, the way he conveys, absolutely brilliant. And he was talking about how street children can able to teach you many lessons to you. One of the lessons that what he was teaching was the newspaper guy. It's just a newspaper. Just imagine how much work has been involved. And I've been thinking, I come from the newspaper background. I know how difficult to produce a newspaper. How to collect the newspaper. It has to be latest, it has to be authentic. You don't have time to check it. If any news comes at 11:30, it may be an important news. You have to write for 1 page. A lot of information has to be collected 1 hour. By 12:30, printing should start. 4 o'clock distribution should start. That's one side of it. Other side, just imagine the work that's been done by the newspaper vendor. By the time paper comes to you, you have to collate all the paper. Some in one flat, at least 10 different newspapers have been read, 4 in English, 4 in Tamil, and other language. Even Hindi papers are being produced in Chennai. Now people write Hindi, Telugu, and other vernacular language also. So the newspaper guy has to carry at least 100 newspapers, different language, different newspaper he has to carry, and they have to distribute. Each flat in Chennai and big cities would have about 80 to 100 dwellings. You have to find out, you have to go to the right people. How much training? All the newspaper, they are maximum 1 or 2 years only, they'll work, they move. The guy who distribute have to educate them flat. F1, you put Hindu, F2, you put Times of India, F3, don't read anything, F4, you put Telugu newspaper. One changes. Assume that the Telugu guy who don't know English or don't know Tamil, if the wrong paper reach him, it's completely waste. Next day, they wouldn't even pay for it. But how miraculously, he remember no apps, nothing. He could able to do it. Day in, day out, whether it is raining or shining, he makes a habit that the 6 o'clock paper reach you right on your doorstep. Nobody teaches him. Where did he pick up the art of delivering things right? We misses many delivery. We go for the apology mail, and here customer accept it. Who will accept this? Two mistake, you lose this job. But he is doing. He can learn lot many things from him rather what you're learning in business school. Absolutely necessary. On your right bottom, you see this fellow is selling books. If you watch him, the kind of books he holds in hand, that's a very popular book. You don't have to go and pick which book is very popular. If you want to read management, go and see what he's selling. What he's holding in hand, more important than what is keeping in this cart. That's very, very important. Always he carry only 3 books. Always say 3 books or 4 books at the maximum. Most of the books I watch him very closely, that personality development and self-development, this kind of books only being sold. What is being sold only he can able to carry. Otherwise, he cannot carry extra lift, extra weight. And in fact, Prakash, you gave an opportunity for me to talk here. In fact, I have to do some reciprocation to you. I would be very happy. Mr. Prakash, have written a book which is going to be launched very soon. If you want to test is the worthiness of the book, probably I would like to see the book is being carried in Besana, where I live. This fellow who sells books. If you carry your books, I would say that the book is well written. Well written. If you want to do any market study, you want to find out which topic, which content is being sold, ask him. He can able to help you. I'm telling the fact. I'm telling the fact. In Basm's probably 2 days he'll keep your book. If you give a little more premium, more commission, he will put it. And the third day he will put it in different place. This fellow can able to give more accurate information. What sort of content is being read. What is being read in Besanagar is different from Mylapore and different places. So all this information is very, very vital. Learn him. He know the art of selling the book, new or old, and the what of contents being sold. He can able to procure and keep it ready. Even 10 books, unsold book, if he's carrying, so he cannot able to have dinner because he'll be wasting his time. No book is sold. How will he make money out of it? He know the art of understanding pulse of the reader. Accordingly, go and procure the book and he sell it. This is the real art which you cannot learn from any business school. Wonderful. Please learn from neighbor. They can teach many, many lessons by observation. You can able to do it.
Super. More of observing, definitely.
More observing.
Very inspiring for this. The story what you've shared has been very, very inspiring for us this time. Good one.
Absolutely.
I would like to definitely meet the vendor also, sir. I'm sure I will stay in touch with you for the same.
Yeah. Very true. In fact, after this Raghuram session, I also met a flower vendor whom I have been buying the flower. Lot of planning they are doing, from recruitment, from displaying, and by avoiding competition. Not many things to be learned. In fact, a lot of time I could not able to do that. In fact, that's much more difficult than the project that we are managing in office. Very, very difficult. See, one failure, my boss would accept. In fact, my CEO is also listening. So I've done many projects, 1 or 2 I failed. At the maximum, I can say sorry and move to the next project because failures are accepted in corporate. Suppose he failed. Suppose the book fellow he failed. You're not able to make even 1 sales on the day. The night my meal is not guaranteed to him. You have to go with empty stomach. So failures is not accepted in his case. Whereas in corporate, it's accepted. Probably next project, you be careful, more advice, more cautious. You have to learn from the mistake. This kind of advice would come. Not even my title is not going to be changed. Even I don't think that even my increment will have an impact as against here. You see that his earning gone and whatever effort he put in, 8 of it is gone. So he will do whatever is required to make his sales because the earning only going to help him to feed his family. Not to be done. That's what I've done. B school versus Indian Street. Indian Street teach you more than what you learn in business school. Adaptation, fluidity of operation, evolving, cost of failure. Very, very important. Cost of failure is very, very, very critical for them more than the corporate world.
True. Completely agree. Definitely, sir. Neighborhood role models we need, and lot more we actually can learn from our neighborhood itself. And there are many people who can. We need to observe them. That's more necessary, and
very true.
That's very necessary and important. Excellent, sir.
I move on to the next one.
Yes, we have the 5th habit. And this I remember is what you told in the starting, the beginning, that life is an echo. We'd like to listen more about it. So go ahead.
Right. See, you are the co-author of your destiny. Nobody can be able to play with your future. Your future is in your hand. More you do well, all your good thing, or if you are in a good position, if you are in an admirable thing, whatever in your life, personal, professional life, because of your past. Life is 100% an echo. What you send out will come back to you. What you experience today is a consequence of yesterday, and tomorrow is a result of what you are going to do today. Practice how we treat another the way you want to be treated. That's what in the bottom I've written, be the change you want to see. Gandhiji have written in one word, what do you expect from other? You practice it. If you want to be respected, give respect to your colleagues, give respect to your peers, give respect to your subordinate. So automatically you will get respected. You cannot make the world to change, but if you don't want to change that, it will not work. There's also 2,000 years back, they said in the form of karma. It generally denotes cycle of cause and effect. Each action of a person takes will affect him or her in some time in the future. Absolutely. The rules apply to the person's thought and words. Just understand the thought also. They never say that action. Thought only will turn to an action. If a thought is pure, our action will be pure. That's why they say the change will happen from your thought. That's very, very important. Every word in karma is absolutely necessary. What you send out is come back. What you sow, you are going to reap it. What you give, you are going to get it. So don't radiate your love so that it will bounce back with you with higher intensity.
Perfect.
Absolutely. See, what I'm suggesting is everybody here at least reach some position. What you have to do is at least you have to play some important role in somebody's life. You have to touch somebody's life. Set a goal that the next 5 years, at least out of 10 team leaders, at least 3 or 4 should become manager. whatever you attained it, you know the trick, you know the track of elevating to the next position, and you can absolutely make it. I'll go to a simple example. Usha Fire Extinguisher is a company, and for two reasons we can able to explain to him the kind of problem that he faced it. In fact, I called in my old company to talk about his experience. One side is his son had a lot of problem. He sold everything to make his son become life to attain a normality. He sacrificed his life. He became normal, started a company where Usha Fire Extinguisher and become very popular. When he came to my office, he said that in my company, 150 people are working, and I would like to see that. I cannot transfer the entire world, but I would see that at least next 5 years, if not 150, 100 owns own house and 50 owns a car. That is his target. The MD's target. He doesn't want to see the company going to twice the turnover what he want to achieve, want to make more profit. So that is different. He want to see the 150 employees, 100 owns a house, 50 definitely owns a car. And he said the plan is on. I'm not able to reveal it. And he achieved 25%. The mission was for next 10 years. After 2 years, you could be able to achieve it. Your thoughts are so powerful. If you think that you want to achieve, you'll definitely achieve. Somehow, thought is really powerful. You practice it, you'll do it. That's the goal. See the kind of CEOs that, what kind of CEO is. And that's why the employer has a good bonding with him. People love to work for this company. It's growing back. It's growing back. In fact, on the right hand side, if you see that, if you try to put your dustbin into the next cabin, he will throw next, it will come back to you with heavier intensity. So we cannot escape from that. What you saw, we are going to repeat the days to come. Very, very important. Life is echo. Don't forget. You cannot escape.
Great. Excellent. So this reminds me, I'm a part of a BNI member. BNI is a community again for business. So
right.
There we have a quote or a line saying that what goes around comes around. So
Absolutely.
what we share is what we get, and that's how that's one of the core values of them. And yes, definitely, what you said, life is an echo, and I'm sure that is one of the habit which we need to follow. Great, nice to listen to all your 5 excellent micro habits. I'm sure these would be definitely bringing in macro changes to the person, and the changes can happen if and only when we start thinking about these habits and inculcating within ourselves and start demonstrating, and just not by listening and then leaving it away. It is more of demonstrating such habits. So I really like that. First starting itself, you shared about your story in the hostel when you were there in the part of it, and then the more you experience the habits, and that's when will give you more strength towards how do we need to really portray ourselves. Excellent, Mr. Venkatesan sir. Thanks very much for sharing the 5 habits, but I would really love to listen to other 3. So just in synopsis, you can just share what is that 6,
right.
7, 8, and then we come to a summary of the particular
maybe 2 minutes
episode.
each for the remaining 3. Is it okay? 6 minutes. Can I take it and quickly wrap up? Is it okay?
I am okay. So can mention the other 3 without detail. Okay, that's what one of our member also says. Definitely, sir. 2 minutes in each of these habits will really help most of our members. We can go ahead. Yes, sir.
Right. The other 6th habit which I would like to touch upon, ego, the enemy of good leadership. Absolutely. The moment the ego get into your head, and your leadership is going to be questioned. When it comes, everything goes. Everything else goes. Absolutely. Basically, it's like your shadow. You cannot get away from the ego. Ego is always there, but you have to control it. In the morning, the ego, the shadow go to this side. When the center of that it comes to you, would have a less shadow. Like that, the shadow position is different. It's sometimes long, sometimes very short. Like that, ego is always there. We cannot avoid ego, but let it not dominate you. That will make your vision into tunnel vision. You build a very strong relationship to get rid of self-centeredness. Very, very, very important. What you are today, it's not because of your own efforts. There's so many people really help you to attain the position what you are. Absolutely, don't give any even 1% option for your ego to develop. At work, what you have to do is listen to your colleagues before before the meeting. We don't even stop them. Your colleague may be junior most. He must be able to express your idea. Just listen to it. May be acceptable, may not be acceptable. Just listen to that. Maybe a good idea also. If you want to give your advice, just ask permission. Can I have a proposal, irrespective of whatever title you are handling? Don't interrupt. If at all, you can take permission and do it. Coach the people. Absolutely. Rather than telling what you want to do, coach them. Many companies, if you go to the sales, if you go to any shop, The senior sales manager, when a prospective customer comes, maybe a prospective fellow you are about to make a sale, you know that he's definitely going to buy it. At the time, the sales manager will disturb the sales guy and he will try to make the sales. He will ensure that the sales being done. He will never allow them to teach the art of selling. Every time when big customer comes, the sales manager only should attend to it. That should not happen. Coach them so that next time you can able to handle it. Home, don't stop blaming. Very, very important. Shaming language, like you always do that. Whenever some mistake is been done, with more salt or less sugar or whatever, you always do that. Don't use this word at home. Very, very important. Your appreciation to your partner users, very, very important. Many a time good advice come from them. You have to realize that and encourage word like that's a great point. That will help you. The disagreement moves from productivity. Very, very important. Ego, short, don't ever allows you dominate you. That's any way of good relationship, lot of relationship because of ego. Absolutely, absolutely necessary.
Great, great.
Moving on to this art of storytelling.
Yes.
This has become very popular now. People nowadays they are not using any more PPTs, talking with numbers. Anything you want to tell, you tell with some story. Absolutely, absolutely. It's very, very essential. I'm putting some example also here. Motorola, Microsoft, Hathaway, always they tell storytelling. They become a habit, irrespective of whichever position you are. They take the incident, connect with the story, and make them to tell it. That become habitual for them. In fact, 3M has banned bulleted points at all in their in the presentation. They said that they please avoid it. Instead, take some story, make it understandable, and make it as very interesting because that's very, very important. In storytelling, two elements are there. One is story and telling. You have to understand what is story. That is, you have to spend more time. This is kind of art. Nobody can able to tell you. You have to understand which one is more relevant for the topic. Even your corporate goal, even your corporate goal or your company's vision, such a big thing also can be told in a very simple way through stories. But you have to identify. You cannot hire a coach to do that because this is your own company. Only you know what to be told. The telling is a science. By people will tell you how to tell that, how to start and all. One classical example is again, I'm telling you everybody to watch this video of Radhika Gupta. Many would have seen the girl with the broken neck. She released many videos. She is the managing director of a company, finance company, and mutual fund company, Edivise. And she's managing 4 billion, close to about 30,000 crores. She's managing. And she released many videos all about corporate advice, how to manage finance, how women make a better manager, many, many different topics. Here, nobody was, even the life, if you happen to see, it's all about 100,000, 3,000. But she changed the story, had given a title, The Girl with Broken Neck. Actually, it's a birth deficiency. It's got a broken neck. And she narrated her own story and conveyed the message because very much liked by the audience. More than 150,000 people liked this video. Same message conveyed differently. People did not like it. When it's been attached with the story, it's been well received. In fact, more than a personal story, a lot of people are like her kind of a business thing also, which has been conveyed. Pure business message she wanted to convey much better way with a lot of facts. Nobody was listening. But after this video, she became very popular also. So people like stories, real life stories, and it has to be well connected. Just because story, nobody will listen to it. And the வடிவேல் ஒரு படத்துல சொல்ற மாதிரி இருக்கும். Sorry for turning to Tamil, some of you might not understand. ஏதோ ஒரு படத்துல சொல்லுவார், நான் கதை சொல்றேன்னு சொல்லிட்டு கதையை திரும்பி பார்க்கறதுக்கு பாதி பேர் ஓடி போவோம். Nobody will stay because everybody this is self-centric. There's a lot of message. When Vadivel talks about himself, நான் இன்னைக்கு பார்த்து அப்படி பண்ணனா இப்படி பண்ணனா நான் மறுபடியும் பண்ண போறேன்னு ஓடி போடுவோம். எப்படா திரும்பி போறீங்க, நான் பார்க்கறதுக்குள்ள எல்லாருமே காணா போறீங்கன்னு. Like that, this is an art. You have to sell it for your own benefit, not to promote you. So identify a real story. There is a science which can be learned, that the way you tell stories, that's very important. That's a good combination. You have to master it. Anybody above manager have to be good at storytelling. No exception. There are steps. There are way to tell stories. Listen to good videos. Master it.
Excellent. Wonderful.
The
last one, yes.
Be proactive. This is very simple. I don't have to elaborate it. And this is because one of the very important habit of Saint Steve Gope. So we always talked about you have to be very, very proactive. Proactive doesn't mean that every step what you're doing, we have to be very cautious. It's not like that. This is a behavior. This is a behavior. That's very, very important. Whatever you do, you have to approach it in the proactive way. There's a habit that you have to develop it. Once if you do it, then you will understand the benefit. Please listen to 7 habits of Covey and understand this is the first habit that would really help you to change the way you approach any problem or project or whatever. Absolutely essential habit. Lot of videos are there, lot of PPTs are there, lot of sessions are being handled. Each 7 habit, each habit, now they're saying about 8 habit also. All the habits are being separately taught. If you want to really grow, there is no shortcut. You come whatever position you are into. If you want to really go, whether in the business, professional life, there's no shortcut. You have to acquire the skill and eligible for the next level.
Perfect. Wonderful. Tremendous, sir. So be proactive. The 8th habit also, which has come from Stephen Covey, which you told. Excellent. So we really understand all these 8 habits. And just to share with you, as you're talking about Radhika Gupta from the Managing Director of Edelweiss, just connected with her and invited her, in fact, for our Leaders Connect episodes.
Great.
So
Great.
in the month of September is where we are, in fact, planning. And it has been just in discussion. So she's
Excellent.
doing how, what are episodes and members. She's also been asking more information about us. So definitely we'll be sharing. Look forward for Ms. Radhika Gupta to join our episode as well. That's how I know her, in fact, she's from Edelweiss. And then
Right.
you have taken her real story, which is very, very inspiring.
Absolutely interesting. All the participants, please listen to. Please listen. Yes.
Definitely.
Okay.
Sure. Thank you very much, Mr. Venkatesan. So
Yeah, just 2 minutes. I'll just finish saying.
Please go ahead, sir.
Yeah.
Yes.
So you could ask participant, probably it must be running in your mind, how much do I practice it? Huh? I do only 50% of it. That is why I am holding the title suffixed by president. I am senior vice president. And because I'm only practicing only 50% of it. Otherwise, I would hold the title the chief. I may be a chief operating officer or whatever. I could not able to practice the remaining 50%. So please, small habit definitely would change your life. How you spend your morning, how you talk to yourself, how do you read, what you read and what you watch, and who you share your energy with, who you access to you, that will change your life. Absolutely. I'm sure that you would have picked up 1 or 2 habits from the session. All are simple, practice it. And I really wish if I'm successful, probably if anyone has changed because of this session or whatever, and if you share your experience that I picked up the habit, I practice it, that's why I could be able to transform. Please share your experience with Prakash Sharma. And thank you everybody for being patiently listening to my speech. And thanks so much for this opportunity, Prakash.
Sure. Thank you very much, Mr. Venkatesan. So all the 8 habits were really wonderful. And maybe I will take an opportunity and share the opportunity to Mr. Sendil in nutshell to quickly summarize all the 8 habits. Remember, very important is all the members and the visitors who are in for today. It is just for us, we all are aware. That's what, in fact, Mr. Venkatesan told, we are aware. But just being aware, it does not stop us. We need to start demonstrating certain habits, which makes it more and more impactful. So, Mr. Venkatesan, kindly stop sharing so that I would also request Mr. Sendil to share quickly, summarize all the 8 important habits which you have shared. So, Mr. Sendil, over to you to quickly summarize all the 8 habits, and that will help us. Oh, I feel Mr. Sendil is occupied. Maybe nevertheless, I will take Sendil Kumar. Okay, I believe he's also occupied. So let me go ahead. Thanks very much all the members and the visitors for being in here. Though it was a little late, but definitely excellent inputs we have received there, Mr. Venkatesan. First, you started off with the first habit is your environment becomes you, and trust definitely your environment becomes you. And then we also have, it takes only a minute. That's the second habit. There are a lot of points you've told in 1 minute, which you can make miracles. 1 minute can really make miracles, definitely. And we also have the next level listening. That's a third habit which you've been talking about. And the fourth, neighborhood role models. That's a fourth habit. Inspiring story, which we heard about the neighborhood, and that's what you're talking about, even the book part. And life is an echo, definitely what we share, and that's what you're going to get it. Sixth is the ego, the enemy of good leadership. And think about the seventh one, the art of storytelling, which is very, very most happening for upcoming leaders. In today's leaders context, we need to be more strong in the art of storytelling. And finally, eighth, be proactive. So great. So these all are the 8 habits which have been discussing. So wonderful. I'm sure all these people might have given or got all the learnings. In fact, I would request Mr. Ramki to kindly unmute. Members, please do. Arul, kindly unmute Mr. Ramki, who has also introduced us to Mr. Venkatesan. Ramki, if you're there, kindly unmute yourself once and turn on your video, please, which will help. Okay, Ramki.
Hi, Prakash.
Oh, hi, Ramki. How are you?
Fine.
Great. Thank you very much, Ramki, for introducing us to Mr. Venkatesan. It's been a very inspiring episode, an insightful episode, and we really had liked it. Great, Ramki. I'm sure you also had enjoyed all the complete habits which Mr. Venkatesan has told. Great.
Definitely, Prakash. It has been a great session for me, and for I hope it will help to grow in a bigger level for all the participants also. Yeah. Thanks to Venkat sir also. Yeah.
Thank you very much. In fact, Mr. Ramki and Mr. Venkatesan, how do I know is the client called Scientific Publishing Services, when Mr. Venkatesan was working there earlier as a director's position. And when we did a particular program there, that's how we know. So thanks very much. So over to you, Mr. Pankaj. I would request you to quickly share about what are services which we also offer that will help all our other members as well as the new visitors who are here today. And we'll summarize with the next week's leader also. So over to you, Pankaj.
Thanks, Prakash. Thank you so much. Wonderful insight by Venkatesan sir. Thank you for sharing about the power of small habits. Thank you so much, sir, for a wonderful session. Well, I'm Pankaj Vyas. I'm managing partner of BJ Training, and I support Prakash Sharma in conducting leadership training and coaching for all the major corporate companies. We prepare customized content on the leadership competencies defined by the companies and help our clients with structured long-term training and coaching interventions. For more information about the long-term leadership interventions and other customized learning and organization development programs, please feel free to contact us. Thank you so much. Over to you, Mr. Yugender, for sharing about our next week guest. Thanks. Thank you, Prakash. Thank you, Venkatesan.
Thank you very much, Pankaj. Over to you again, there. Please do share us the next week's leader. Okay, Yugender, maybe. Yugender is there.
Yeah. Hi. Yeah. Thanks for the wonderful session. So the session was insightful. So before me sharing about the next week leader, let me quickly share again the purpose of the community for the visitors who are attending for the first time. Leaders Connect is an online leadership community where every week on Wednesday from 6:30 p.m. to 7:15 p.m. we invited top management leaders from a reputed corporate company to share the solutions for our real-time leadership challenges, either leading self, leading others, or leading business, like how you have seen Mr. Venkatesan today. The Leaders Connect online leadership community does not stop in sharing the solutions alone every week, but also have a reflection session to track the learning and convert into an action plan on the last Wednesday of every month. That's when we call Leaders Create More Leaders. If you wish to join your community, please click on the WhatsApp group link, which is on your chat box, and you will be able to join us to receive weekly update, or call us on the number shared on the WhatsApp, and then we will add in our community. We believe and trust in potential of every human being who can constantly grow, but growth is within oneself as how with whom you spend your time. For members, do remember to write your learning action plan on your respective login credentials shared with you. So now I'm happy to introduce the next week leader, Mr. Venkat Narasimhan, Vice President Sales Marketing, Musa Bank Private Limited, on the topic Reboot with Resilience. Now I would like to thank Mr. M. Venkatesan for spending your valuable time in sharing your experiences and solutions.
Thanks very much, Yugender, for sharing the same. And thanks very much, Venkatesan sir. That's really been an awesome episode, and spending your time here with us. That's been really great. So one last message would you like to share to our community members here with us today? What would that message be, sir? So one last message would like to share.
In business, what you know is less important than whom you know. Very, very important. Connection is very, very important, especially in the modern world. So what you are doing is a wonderful job, connecting the like-minded people And that would not only help your organization to grow, but if the participants, if they take it in the right direction, there's a lot of good contacts, connects that can be established. That would help them. Very, very interesting topic and very like-minded people are trying to connect. That's very important. You continue to do that. Participants, please get connected with him for your own benefit.
Definitely. Thank you very much, Mr. Venkatesan, sir. That's been really great that you're sharing it. Definitely, as much as possible, you all are helping with each other. In fact, I would always say that all the members who are there and we all are growing together. That's what I would really say. That's what I've been telling, in fact, all the members as well. Let's all grow together. Thanks very much for that insightful sharing to all our members here. Yes, Mr. Venkatesan.
One information, I could see Mr. Chellapan also joining, and let me see whether still he's there.
Mr. Chellapan, Arul, kindly unmute Mr. Chellapan if he's here.
No, I think he just left. I'm very happy. In fact, your book is going to be published, and probably, yeah, I think it's not there. Okay.
Thanks very much, sir. In fact, thanks for your reference for Mr. Chellapan, through which is where I have printed all the copies as well. And for all the members and visitors, the book will be launched on either 14th or 21st. That's when of August. In fact, when doing it, all the preparatory work is done. You all will be given more information about the same. And in fact, Mr. Venkatesan has shared his helped me in terms of launching the book, how and what. He's shared certain contacts which will also help me doing so. Thanks very much, Venkatesan, sir. That's been really kind of you. Good. So in the interest of all, thanks very much. We have one thanking video for all. So remember, week after week, we have been here, and then let's learn continuously. So learning itself is a continuous habit, and let's start deploying them. So one for all thanking video. Yes, go ahead, Manish, to play the thanking video. Great. So thank you all the members as well as the visitors. Thank you all. Thank you very much, Venkatesan sir, for your humble presence. Thanks for your time as well. And my contact number is there at the bottom. Feel free to stay in touch in case if any points are required. All our members are there to help each other. Great. So thank you very much, sir. That's been really great.
Yeah, it's special. Okay.
Thank you.
Thanks, viewer. Bye.
Any questions are coming up, I will definitely share it with
Yes,
you.
I'm happy to respond. I'm happy to respond. Yes.
Definitely, I'm sure. Thank you all and have a
Thanks,
great
bye.
weekend and have a nice evening. Thank you all. Thank you. Thank you, sir.